I just want to address the issue. My camera is on. It's the shutter. It's not working. I got an appointment at 5 o'clock today at Apple to fix it. So, yeah, I dropped my laptop this weekend, Mr. Haas. Apparently, I'm not the solver and the guru of everything. I can't fix this one.
-1 for participation today.
What? My co-teacher? Really?
I'm playing.
Mr. Haas.
All right, guys, office
All right.
hours today at 2:20, okay? But today I will be taking this away, and I will start our lesson as soon as Miss Canella tells me to. Whenever you're ready.
Mr. R, we're going to start with the video, right?
Yeah, I can actually do the video, I think.
You want me to just share and you can share the other thing? Because I kind of pretty much have it here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, guys, you're going to watch a 2-minute video on the 3 ways to write a ratio. So before we go any farther, pen or pencil, check. You need to have some kind of notebook. Thank you, Lorena. Notebook, check. And you need to have this thing called your brain with you. You guys ready? All right, let's go. 2 minutes. So you're going to handwrite the notes, and then you're going to write down the notes that we do. We're going to take turns.
All right.
I'm coming as fast as I can, young man.
Miss Canella, did you take attendance?
I'm writing it down because more people are coming in. Then I'll go do it on GradeLink, all right?
Sounds great.
All right, here it is. 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to make sure we don't have the other thing come on.
Hi, Specca Spartans. So today we're going to review how to write ratios. A ratio is 2 equivalent quantities.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, Specca Spartans. So today we're going to review how to write ratios. A ratio is 2 equivalent quantities. And the word equivalent, if you look at it, has the word equal quantities. So it's 2 equal quantities that are being compared. There are 3 ways that we write a ratio. And the first way we write a ratio is using a colon. So the word colon. So for example, 8:5. I'm comparing 8 to 5. The second way we write a ratio is as a fraction. We have a numerator, 5/8, my denominator. And the third way I write a fraction is use the word 2. 9 to 3. So let's take these 3 skills and let's apply it to a question. So let's look at the purple question on the board here. It says there are 10 lions and there are 6 tigers. What is the ratio of tigers to lions? So I'm going to annotate there are 10 lions and there are 6 tigers. I want to know the ratio of tigers to lions. So before I begin, I'm going to label tigers because that's my first quantity over lions. Now, order matters when you write a ratio. You write a ratio the way they ask you. Order matters. So now I'm going to substitute the numbers. So when I look in the question, there are 6 tigers. Tigers is my numerator. Lions is my denominator. There are 10, so 10 goes on the bottom. So one way to write this ratio is 6/10, which is a fraction. The second way is use a colon. 6 : represents tigers to 10 lions. And the third way is using the word 2. So 6 tigers to 10 lions.
So as you guys just saw, right, those are the 3 ways that we write a ratio using a colon, dot, a fraction with a number on top, the numerator over the denominator. Thank you, Arlenis. Look at that. And the word 2. Love it. That's what you should have written down. If not, you're going to see it now when Mr. R goes over the learning target with the students' vocab, and then we're going to do practice problems with you. Okay, remember, order matters in a ratio. We write the ratio the way it's asked. Order matters.
Order does matter all the time, too. All right, guys, we're going to take over now. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
I didn't hear you. You ready?
Yes, let's go.
You guys not bringing no energy. I don't respect that. You guys know how I roll. My energy got to be there. All right, let's go. So our first learning target, I can write ratios that compares 2 quantities, and I can use ratio language to determine the relationship between 2 quantities. Lesson notes. Today, scholars, we will learn what ratios are, the 3 ways to write ratios, find equivalent ratios, and apply them to the real world situations, right? So again, we got a whole bunch of items here. I'm gonna tell you exactly, did I erase this?
No.
I left it up there for a reason. I think so. Yeah, I did. Okay. So ratios is a way to
Wait,
compare
hold on. Can you stay on
different.
that screen?
Huh?
Can you stay on that stream so I can write the radio, you know?
Absolutely. It's going to stay right here for a little bit. Ratios is a way to compare two different quantities. 3 ways to write a ratio are to use the following: A, B, and C. A says use the word to. Example 5:7 is a way to actually expressing that one ratio. Another way to say that same ratio is to use a colon. 5 dot dot right here, 7, is another way of saying 5/7. The other way to say it is using a fraction, which we should all know is 5/7. Now, I like to actually use these in analogies, and I'm going to say this: 5 baseballs and 7 footballs. Sometimes the questions ask for the total number. In that case, what do we have to do? We have to add the first number, which is 5, in this case right here, and the second number, get the total, which is what's 5 plus 7?
12.
Okay, Miss Canella, 12. And then we take the analogy of 5 to 12. Now, another thing that you guys need to understand is it's called part to part to whole, or whole to part. Right? These are given analogies. In this example, we gave it basketballs to footballs is 9 to 11. So if I had to actually think about this, guys, the first thing that we said is basketballs. That's going to be our first number. The second thing is footballs. That's going to be our second number. I have an iPad coming in, Ms. Canella. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Okay, continue. 2 footballs, right? So footballs will be 11. I'm going to use a different color for that. And that explains that.
That you can
So when I
count.
say 9 to 11, that's a different way of stating that. Part to whole is given in another way of saying it. The basketballs to footballs, which is 2 to 3, 2:3, 2/3. All of these are different ways of describing a ratio. Okay? Now I want to reiterate something, and that's the bottom part right here. It says you can use the phrases for each and for every to describe ratios. For example, it says 4 tennis balls for every 5 baseballs. In this case, we have 3 different ways of saying that rate as a ratio, which are 4 to 5, 4:5, or 4/5. If I had to do the total number of balls, it would be 9 balls in total. So I would say 4 tennis balls for each set of 5 baseballs. In that case, same thing, right? 4 to 5. If I had 4 tennis balls to every ball, 4 to 9, 4:9, or 4/9. Now, there's something that you must understand about the way we simplify or find equivalent ratios. And that is, there are ratios that are the same, that name the same or equal comparisons. In this example, we said 1/2 is equal to 2/4. If you think about it, what did they do to get from 1 to 2? They timed it by what? Cynthia. Y'all gotta be ready. I'm gonna call on y'all spontaneously. 1 times 2 is what?
2.
2, right? Good. So if we do whatever we do to the numerator, we do to the denominator. 2 times 2 equals 4. That's how we got 2/4. Does everybody see that? Now, this is a lot of information. If I was writing this in my notes, I would honestly only write this to this. 3 different ways to actually write the colon. I would use these examples and the module problems that are coming up next, and I'll write that down. Now, I'm going to give you guys about 10 more seconds, and I'm erasing this part, and I'm going to move on to the next part. And I'm counting. 5 seconds. All right, moving on.
Okay.
If you didn't get it, don't worry about it that much. We're going to go over some nice module problems.
Want me to do this part real quick and then you do the other?
Absolutely.
Okay. So Mr. R just went over all these words. Here's some visuals to incorporate a different kind of learning visually. So as you know, a ratio compares 2 quantities or 2 values. We're comparing like apples to bananas or footballs to baseballs or whatever it is. We use the part-to-part relationship, right? So here, the part that's green, right? There are, what is there, 4 green, and there are 6 purple. The part to whole, so the part that's shaded to the whole amount. So there are 4 green shaded out of 10 whole altogether. Again, underneath, a ratio can be written as, we just said it, the word 2, the word a colon, the dot dot, or as a fraction. Now, something that you got to know, I think Mr. R said it, but I'm not sure if I caught it. A ratio is a rational number, has the word ratio. And a ratio is written as a fraction. Rational numbers are written as fraction because they're ratios that compare something, a top to a bottom, or 2 quantities. Now, you're going to see this in a sec. We've been working with fractions last week when we had to simplify, break down, reduce, or lowest terms. You have 2 options in today's work. You can either multiply to make it equal to make it larger, an equivalent fraction, or you can divide to make the fraction smaller. Whether you multiply or divide, you're still going to find an equivalent ratio or an equivalent fraction.
All right, moving on. This is model practice problem number 1. First one on my list is right now is, it's actually Mr. Haas, but I'm going to skip Mr. Haas and I'm going to go down to Haley. Haley, Marley has 4 tennis balls and 5 baseballs, okay? Now, I want you to think about this, and I want you to understand the way that the question is written. We have to answer it by A, B, and C, okay? It says we can also compare 2 quantities with words. We can write the numerical comparisons of 4 tennis balls to 9 baseballs as simple as 4 to 9. It says write a comparison of the number of baseballs to the number of total balls using the word 2. Now, Haley, how can I do that? It said it on the top already, too. I'm going to ask you to unmute. You was just speaking. Go ahead.
Hold on, I'm gonna think about it.
Okay. You want me to rewrite the
How
question?
many tennis balls there for?
Right.
There's 4 tennis balls, and it says the total number of balls is 9.
So the question says, how many baseballs are there? How many baseballs do you see in this colorful image?
5.
So 5, use the word 2. So 5 is the first number because order matters. 2, what's the total number of tennis balls and baseballs? What's the total number?
9.
9, 5 to 9. Bam, one way is using the word 2.
Perfect. Haley, now let's try the next one. Write the ratio of tennis balls to baseballs in 3 different ways. Tennis balls is 4, baseballs is 5. Haley,
Confusion.
again, I'll try it again. 4 tennis balls and 5 baseballs. We're comparing the 2, right? Tennis balls, 2 baseballs. What's the first way we wrote it?
5 to 9.
Right, but now we're talking about tennis balls and baseballs. What numbers are there?
What?
We're talking about tennis balls and baseballs. What are the 2 numbers there?
4 and 5.
4 and 5. So what's a way to say that?
4 to 5.
There you
Bingo,
go.
yeah. Good job. 4 to 5. What's another way that we just recently discussed on top?
4 dot 5.
Yep, colon 5. Perfect. What's one more way?
What's what?
What's one more way?
4/5.
Bingo. 4, 4. Yeah, perfect. Haley deserves some positive kickboard points for that. Cynthia, you're up. It says, what is one equivalent ratio fraction for 4 divided by 9, or 4 over 9? So if I have 4 over 9, what is something that is equivalent to that? What's gonna, maybe you could insist.
Sure. So if you guys remember, when you do an equivalent fraction, there's 2 things. You ask yourself, what number can I divide both 4 and 9 by? Is there a number that goes evenly into 4 and 9? And if you're not sure, what we could do is we can list the factors of 4 on the side, right? We're going to find the greatest common factor. So we're going to write 4 colon. So 4, we know 1 times 4 gives me 4. And we know 2 times 2 give me 4. Now we're going to find the factors of 9. We have 1 times 9 and 3 times 3. So 1, 3, and 9. If you look at these numbers, right, we only see that they share a 1, but that's not the greatest common factor. So clearly we cannot divide because there is no number that goes into both 4 and 9 equally. So now you have to say, oh boy, what do I do? Oh, the opposite or inverse of division is multiplication. So let's multiply by a number. Maybe we could try Haley. What number do you want to multiply by? I see your hand up. We don't want to multiply by 1. What comes after 1? Or another number, Haley? 2. So if I multiply the numerator by 2, I got to multiply the denominator by 2. So we're going to write times 2 on the numerator and times 2 on the denominator. What I do to the top, I do to the bottom. So now, Haley, 4 times 2.
8.
8. Haley, help us finish it up. More positive points. 9 times 2 is what? Haley, 9 times 2? 18. Right? So one equivalent ratio or fraction is 8 over 18 because 8 divided by 2 is 4. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Or 4 times 2 give me 8. And 9 times 2 give me 18. That's 1. You could have also multiplied this by 3 or by 4 or by 5 and so on.
Does that make sense?
I got a question.
Go ahead, Haley.
What's your question?
So, do we have to do this for like all our things? Like, you know how Alan put like 4 to 5? Like, say if it was another number, like I put like 9 to 8, or for example, like that, and put each like that.
What question are you referring to, B or C?
I'm referring to B.
Oh, for
Like,
B.
say for if it was 9 to 8, could I like put that just as you put 4 to 5?
Yes, that's the point.
Yeah,
But you have to make sure that it matches the tennis balls in this case and baseballs. So whenever it says tennis balls, 2 baseballs, realize that we got tennis balls first, the first number, 4, and then it said 2 baseballs, which is what? 5, right? Addressing the issue. So it says 4 to 5, 4:5, or 4 over 5. Did that answer your question?
Can I use that in each other way? Like, say if it was 9 to 8, could I put all of the 1, 2, and 3? Can I put it in that way too?
Yes, we write it the 3 different ways, Haley.
Okay.
And you're going to see that in a minute because the next question I'm going to do with you is about toucans and parrots, and we're going to apply exactly what you just asked to the question, okay? Thank you for being brave to ask your questions and participating. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Fantastic today.
Yes, keep it up, Haley.
The next one is going to be Daniela Brito.
So Daniela, you want to read? Can you read us the question, please, about the toucans and parrots? You see the little picture?
The Bronx Zoo has 15 toucans and 60 parrots. What is the ratio of numbers of toucans to number of parrots at the Bronx Zoo?
Okay, so Daniela, this is all you. You're going to read number 1. Tell us what to write. Go.
There are 15 toucans in the zoo.
Keep going.
And there are 60 parrots in the zoo. So
Read number 3 carefully. What does it say?
it's 15 to 60.
Daniela, why is it 15 to 60? Can you explain? How did you know what number was first?
Because in the order of the problem, the toucans came first and then the parrots.
Awesome. Okay. Read number 4. What does it say to do?
Write the ratio in 2 other ways. So since I already did like the one with the word 2, let's see the other ones. The one with the colon with 15 colon 60, and the fraction way, which is 15 over 60.
Beautiful. Magnificent. All right. Now, number 5. Help us out. We forgot how to do this. Can you teach us? What does it say to do?
Write one equivalent fraction ratio slash fraction for 15 over 60.
So how do you solve this? What do you do?
Okay, so or
You want to multiply or divide? I'll give you that, and then you finish. Let's see. Right? Simplify means make it smaller. So we have to do what operation?
division.
Good. What do you divide by? What's the number you would like to divide by? That goes into both 15 and 60.
Arlenis is holding it up. She's trying to give you a hand.
Want to call on a classmate?
I can do it by myself.
Okay. You let us know when you're ready. Take your time. If you guys know the answer, you can type it in the chat while Daniela comes up with what she thinks. So we're looking for what is 15 over 60. What can I divide by?
3.
Okay, let's start there. So keep going.
15
So
divided by 3 is what?
the 15 divided by 3 equals 5, and 60 divided by 3 is 20.
Okay, so Daniela, 5 over 20. Can you simplify that, or do we keep going?
What do you mean keep going?
Can we simplify that again? Can we break it down again? Lowest terms?
Yes, we can.
If we can, what do we divide by now?
Let's divide by 5.
Okay, so take it away. You got this.
Okay, so 5 divided by 5 equals 1, and 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So we're left with 1 over 4. So that means the answer is A.
Okay. Right, so Daniela, what you did is great. You actually took a number that you knew. Some students in the other classes said that the GCF of 15 and 60 was 15, so they just divided it by 15 in one shot. But whether you did it that way or your way, Daniela, you're still gonna arrive at 1/4. So that means 1 toucan for every 4 parrots, right? Okay, questions, comments? Good job, Daniela.
Now, guys, sometimes what they want to do and what they try to do to trick you guys up is that they tell you what the Bronx Zoo has 15 toucans and what is the total number of parrots. So what happens is that they add the two numbers and they tell you to take the fraction. That way you can sometimes get the problem wrong. And that was one of the problems that we was also having last class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to erase all this.
That was awesome. That was not an easy one either. They had to think.
Good job, Daniela.
Yes, very good job, Miss Brito. Everyone should be writing because you're going to have to show your notes at the end of the class before we move on to independent work. Good note taking.
Oh, yeah, you guys are getting positive points for that.
All right. Mister, are you going to do this one, right?
I believe so. So it says, Alan, this is all you. The table below shows different possibilities for the number of games a team would need to win to maintain a certain percentage of wins. Now, realize it says which ratio of the number of games won to the number of games played could also be included in this table. Hint, think equivalent fractions / ratio. First, we're going to always answer the first 3 questions. It makes it easier for us. Alan, how many games are won?
So there's multiple numbers.
Are you speaking? I don't hear him. You hear him?
No. Can you turn your mic up, please? The volume?
There is multiple numbers.
There's what?
Multiple numbers.
So
I don't hear him. Let's go.
I heard something with multiple numbers. Mr. R wants to know how many games are won according to the table. Look at the green lines, right? If 6 games are won, there are 10 played. So then 24-1, 40 played, 36-1, 60 played, 42-1, and 70 are played. So using this table, how many games are won? How do you do it?
Yeah, I don't hear him though. He's
Me either.
talking. I just don't hear him.
Maybe you want to type it in the chat?
Do you want to? I'm gonna call on Arlenis. Arlenis, help him out.
Okay.
You speak. I hope it's not me. Now that I can hear.
Say the question again.
Okay, so the question says, the number of which ratio of the number of games won, to the number of games played. Now we clearly know that the games won is on this side, and the number of games played is on this side. So if I won 6 games, the number of games I played was 10. So I want to ask you, how many games are won?
6.
Good. How many games are played?
10.
Good. Let's go down further. Now it says, which is the ratio of the number of games won to the number of games played, using that from that table?
6 to 10.
6 to 10. Okay. Now, utilizing that table, we have to find what? It says, hey, think equivalent fractions, yes? So we got 6 to 10, which is also converted to 6 over 10.
We can multiply.
By how much?
3.
3. Okay. What do we get?
18 over 30.
Is that an answer that you see here?
Yes.
Perfect. And what letter would that be?
A.
You sure?
Oh, wait.
I'm joking. Yes.
A and C, right?
A and C.
Right, guys? So this shows me that for every 18 games that are won, there are 30 games that are played. That's what that means. For every 18 games won, there are 30 games played.
I see people jotting down notes. I'm not going to erase it until you write it down.
Believe it or not, this is something that you need to know. Like if you ever gone to like Dave and Buster's and you want to find out like the ratio of games won to the games played when you play with like, your family or friends, this is kind of what you have to do.
A
Hey,
lot of people actually do this different ways. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you a little hint. What they do is they add all of these up. And then they still divide. When you divide, you will still get 18 over 30.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone good? We're going to move on in 4, 3, 2. How do you decide what number you multiply to get an equal? Oh, that's a really good question. Alan has a good question, Mr. R. He says, how do you decide what number you multiply by to get an equal fraction or ratio? Well,
go ahead, Ms. Canoa.
No, you can go.
Go ahead.
So in this particular example, the one that, who just did it, Arlenis, you have to look at your answer choices. We started with 6 over 10, right? So if we would have doubled 6 times 2 would give me 12. So whatever I do to the numerator, do to the denominator. Sometimes it's like trial and error, but what you're doing is you're making the numbers larger. So you're picking a number that you think you can multiply the top and bottom by. It can't be 1, it has to be bigger than 1.
Arlenis, I seen you had a hand up. Maybe you want
To decide, yeah.
Mhm.
I was gonna say, in order for you to decide what number you multiply by, you could like do like, you could start by a number that you think, like for example, I could have started with 2, and then I could have multiplied it by 3, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I could have gotten the answer.
Yeah, she could have done 6 times 2, guys, and got 12, and 10 times 2 and got 20. And notice that 12 over 20 wasn't an answer, Alan. So then she said, okay, I have to go larger because look, I got 18, 30, and 50. So I have to have a larger number that I'm multiplying by. Do you see that, Alan? I hope that answers your question.
use that thumbs up, yeah.
All right, let's do one more. Let's do this one. Number 4, who do we have next, Mr. R?
Shay.
Shaylin. A recipe used 5 cups of water, 3 cups of rice, and 1 cup of black beans. What is the ratio of rice to water? All you, Shaylin. None of us. Go.
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. A recipe used 5 cups of water, 3 cups of rice, and 1 cup of black beans. What is the ratio of rice to water? So look at the first question, read it, and tell us what to write.
Okay. So
You gotta speak a little louder, dear.
Miss Cannell, can I ask you a question?
Sure, type it in the chat.
you need 3 cups.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
don't hear you. Speak louder.
You
If
need
you can.
5 cups of water.
I think she said 5 cups of water.
I really can't hear. It's all the way up to 5 cups of water.
Shay, did you say 5 cups of water?
Why don't you just say it in the chat?
Oh, yeah. Shaylin, I think I heard you say 5. I'm not sure.
Okay, now how many cups of rice, Shay? You can hold it up. These are numbers you can hold up in your hands. 3. Okay, good. 3 cups. Okay. Now, Shay says, what is the ratio of cups of rice to the cup of water?
So, Shaylin, use what you did now to create the ratio of rice to water. Look at your work.
It's gonna be 3
Mm-hmm.
to 5.
Yes. 3 to 5, Shaylin. Why is it 3 to 5 and not 5 to 3? Somebody in the chat wrote 5 to 3. Can you help us? Can you help them understand why your answer is right and theirs was not correct?
Because rice is like first in the question,
Uh-huh.
and then water comes after that.
Because what matters starts with an O. What matters in a ratio? Order matters. So you guys see it's 3 to 5, not 5 to 3. Let's sort of 2 people write that.
All right.
1 second.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
wait for this. And the time has come, guys. Independent practice, exit ticket, right? What I'm gonna do right in front of you is I'm going to open them up. Exit ticket open. Independent practice open. I stop sharing and you are free to go.
Mr. R, I'm going to type to you.
Yes, breakout room, I know.
Okay. I'm going to
Just
tell
tell
you.
me who you want me to put in there, and I need hosts for that.
I gave it to you.
No, I got co-host, not host.
Oh, I thought I put the other thing. I'm sorry. Here.
I guess I have to open that up on my settings as well. I don't know.
So
I got it now.
definitely shoot in that room, Kevin, because I saw he was a little lost.
Actually, let's do a thumbs up matter.
Yeah.
Thumbs up if you understood today's lesson. Thumbs to the middle if you are a little confused. It's okay. We'll help you out. I got Isabella, I got Cynthia, I got Isaiah Lay, and I got Kevin. Anyone else? And Shay. Michelle and Yankel, I cannot see you, so I do not know.
And I've asked you guys a few times to please turn your cameras on privately and in the chat. So we need them on, please. The only person that does not have their camera on is Mr. R because he told you why.
I mean, I could turn it on. It's not going to make a difference. You guys still can't see me. Like,
Michelle and Yankel, I need the cameras on, please. I've asked you multiple
Wait, why
times.
did I not see you?
oh, because I dropped my camera over the weekend and the shutter inside of it broke. So I got to
Oh my.